Hi guys, welcome back to another Blu-ray video, and it's my top 10 Christmas Blu-rays I'm going to be talking about tonight. But just so you know, this is not my top 10 Christmas movies list, because there's a few movies in there probably I'd like to have that I've not got in Blu-ray. For example, Die Hard. Before you start yelling at your screens, I don't have Die Hard in Blu-ray. Yes, you're probably saying, what are you talking about? A collection that size, you don't have Die Hard? No, because I'm holding out, because every time they release another one, they're releasing some kind of anniversary, and I'm sick of having to buy so many editions. And I don't know, debating whether or not to pick up the two disc version if I can hunt it down of Die Hard. Anyway, with that out of the way, it would definitely be on the list if I had it, and it's definitely on my top 10 Christmas movie list, but it's not on here. So before we go into it and you kind of wonder where the heck's Die Hard, unfortunately I will get it in the collection, guys. If I do this again in the next 2 years or whatever, it'll be on my collection list. So we'll just see what we go from now. Now I do have a lot of other Christmas movies on Blu-ray that I don't have, but I do have that I don't, that won't be on this list. So this is just my top 10 Christmas Blu-rays that I really enjoy the most. Anyway, starting from 10 on the way down, we'll just dive right into it. And at number 10, A Christmas Carol, Robert Zemeckis movie with Jim Carrey. And it's just, I came to this film dead late. I didn't see this one, I think it came out in 2009, could be wrong, maybe 2008 or 7, I can't remember when it came out. But I came to this movie quite late. I'd seen his first kind of Robert Zemeckis kind of animated style with this, obviously Polar Express, and I enjoyed that, which I will mention later on. I've seen this twice now, since I got it like 2 years ago, and I thoroughly enjoy it, and I'm glad to say that's actually in my list, because I was debating, this was between another Jim Carrey film that I was wanting to put on the list that I do own in Blu-ray, and since it's not on the list, I'll just come out and tell you, and that was The Grinch. I chose this over The Grinch, and I really do enjoy The Grinch. I enjoy The Grinch so much, but it was hard because like I was trying to pick my top 10, and this I just had to put this in front of it. And I've only seen this twice. I've not watched this yet. It's this Christmas yet, but I will be watching it. And it'll be my third time watching it. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. And for you who know, I've not seen it, it's really just about Scrooge. And we all know the story of Scrooge. He gets visited by 3 ghosts during the night, and it's just Robert Zemeckis' version of it. And Jim Carrey's take on it is really good. And you forget Gary Oldman also does a character in it as well. So it's really, really fun, and honestly I was surprised with it. Number 9 now. This was a choice between another movie that I was going to pick and this movie, and it was narrowed down to I had to put this movie on my Blu-ray collection. It's a forgotten movie. That's why I put it on. Well, it wasn't a forgotten. I mean, not many people talk about it, and that's why I chose it for this Blu-ray top 10 Blu-ray collection, and that's Scrooged with Bill Murray. A really, really fun film. Another basically Scrooge story again, and we all know the story of Scrooge. He's just this, but it's a modern take on it, and he's a direct, well, he's a TV producer, and he's a really not a nice guy to put it politely, to work with. And just like Scrooge, fires that person, and they've all, it's basically the story of Scrooge modernised, and we all know the story of Scrooge. Now the reason I picked it, and I picked it over Santa Claus the movie, so I would love to have that on my list, just because I think that like Santa Claus the movie is an obvious one, and this is just like, it doesn't, not a lot of people talk about it, and I've never really, when people talk about Christmas movies, they go, okay, it's the basic ones, that always the same every year. Elf, Home Alone, right? Which you'll probably see at this list, and you know it's going to be on this list. But this film never seems to get mentioned, and I think it's a miss. Now, if you haven't seen Scrooged, try it out, check it out, guys. You won't miss it. It's never to be knocked back. Bill Murray's fantastic in it. It's just a fun daft comedy, 80s movie. And now number 8, and it had to be 8. I had to choose this one, and that's Polar Express. Now, this is what I was talking about. This was the first Robert Zemeckis movie I've seen it in the cinema, and it's with Tom Hanks. And if you haven't seen The Polar Express, where have you been? I watch this every Christmas Eve. I don't go through a Christmas without watching it. Just really, really fun, warm film. It's just I don't know what it is about this movie. I prefer it. I still prefer it. I mean, even though I was talking about A Christmas Carol, I like A Christmas Carol, but I prefer this over it. I think this is more of an original story. It stands on its own, and I think, like, I've seen this twice in the cinema. I've seen it when it first came out in 2004. I think it got released, and then I've seen it 2 years later when it got its 3D release in that was the Science Centre, I believe it was, at Christmas 2006. And I seen it in the cinema in there in 3D, and I had a great time with it. I thought, doesn't get old, and I'll enjoy it. I'll enjoy it for many more Christmases, hopefully many more Christmases to come. And yeah, I think if it was something, if I had kids, I would show them this movie. It's definitely a good, a classic Christmas movie, I think, for years to come. Now another one, and this is my number 7, and it had to be on the list just because it's a fun film, and that is Jingle All The Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just the lines, the dialogue in this film, it's just Arnold Schwarzenegger at his best, and it's just a fun, just a good movie. And okay, this film wouldn't work today in terms of, you know, just like with, everybody ordering online, eBay and that sort of stuff. So this film wouldn't work today. You can just get things online, but it's the idea of running through, the city, trying to get his present on Christmas Eve for his kid, and it's just a really, really good, fun movie. I enjoy it a lot. Now my number 6, and this is my number 6, and I had to choose it because I watch it every Christmas as well, and I think it's another one. I think I watch it every Christmas Eve as well. Could be wrong. I think sometimes I watch it the day before, but it's definitely one I watch close to Christmas, and that is It's a Wonderful Life with James Stewart. Now, a lot of people know about this movie. If you haven't seen A Wonderful Life, it's in colour. If you don't like black and white, you can pick up the Blu-ray. This is the first Blu-ray release, I believe. And every year they release another anniversary of it. And they release, I think this year, believe it or not, it's the 70th anniversary. And it just holds up today. It's a film they could not remake, or nobody wants them to remake, and it's just a timeless Christmas classic, and it will hold for generations to come. I believe if it's the 70th year, I believe that it will go on for another 70 years, maybe even beyond. It's just a good classic Christmas movie. If you have not seen it, you don't have to sit and watch the black and white version. If you're not into black and white movies, the Blu-ray gives you the colour version, so you can change it if you do prefer, but it'll always remain a true classic in my book, and that's why I have to have it on this list. And it'll probably be on my list of my top 10, would be on my top 10 favourite Christmas movies as well. Number 5. Now the reason I picked this one for number 5, mainly because I seen it. The first time I watched it was, I'm talking way back, early 2000, maybe even the year 2000. And I was up late one Christmas Eve just watching TV. I used to watch films on TV, and this came on like late, like literally like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock Christmas morning, and it is Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, a lot of people think Tim Burton directed the movie. No, he didn't direct the movie. It was another director, but Tim Burton produced it. I think he was doing Batman Returns, which I may add is another Christmas movie, and unfortunately I don't have room because it probably would have been on my collection at some point. And I do own that one on Blu-ray. He was doing Batman Returns at this, but it's his style, and this film today everybody talks about this movie. It's become like, I don't know, because Disney bought it over, but the days before, like, TriStone had it. I remember I had the DVD. I think I had the VHS as well. VHS and the DVD of this, and TriStone were the company that owned it before Disney bought it over, before Disney realised this was a money maker, and Disney jumped on board. Now, I seen it when it was TriStone, and it was just like this one-off kind of, crazy film. Now, a lot of people will say to me, my girlfriend, she'll say, oh, it's a Halloween movie, and I'll say it's a Christmas movie, and she'll say, no, it's a Halloween movie. Okay, it may be a Halloween movie. I think she said even the director said it was a Halloween movie or something. And it may be, but in my eyes it starts at Halloween and it finishes at Halloween. The whole story of Jack Skellington is about him trying to take over Christmas for a year. So what's his purpose in the movie is to take over Christmas, and what's in it more than there is Halloween? Okay, there's Halloween Town, time from time you'll see it, but I believe it's leans towards more of a Christmas movie than it does a Halloween movie. As much as there'll be an argument, and I'm sure people drop comments below, no, it's a Halloween movie. Whatever you prefer to watch this on, whether it's Halloween or whether it's Christmas, for me personally, I prefer watching this movie on Christmas, just because, I'm probably being biased here, but Christmas is my favourite holiday. Halloween, as an adult, I don't really care for Halloween. I don't mind seeing the costumes and stuff like that, but it's really just an excuse for an adult to go out and get drunk. I can do that any old time. So I don't care for Halloween. I don't even care for New Year, because it's the same thing. As an adult, as a kid I enjoyed Halloween, but as an adult, so even as a kid I preferred Christmas. I've always preferred Christmas, and that's probably why I would put this in my collection, in my list, because I do watch it on Christmas Eve. It's one of the ones I do watch. Also, my number 4, I believe this is, and yeah, and it is Elf. Now, up to what, maybe like 6 years ago, I probably didn't watch this movie as much as I did now. But up till I bought the Blu-ray, I'd never owned it in DVD, I never owned the VHS. I think the VHS ever came out VHS, but I don't think I ever owned it. I'd seen it, and this movie, from time to time, from year to year, has grown on me, and I have to watch it now every Christmas Eve. I believe it's one of my all-time favourite Christmas movies. It would definitely be on my list. Now, when this movie first came out, I think it was 2003, I mocked it and thought it was kind of silly, because I basically never even went to see it. I think I was on this kind of mindset that I'd just seen this thing, and it was like, I used to love Chevy Chase at the time, and I was on this mindset because I seen this article on some magazine, and it was Chevy Chase is a Will Ferrell was the Chevy Chase of today, sorry, and I think that set me off on some kind of Will Ferrell, Anyway, that's another story. But through the years, my opinions changed, because your taste changes through the years. You don't always like the same things that you did when you were younger. You could watch certain movies that you loved when you were younger and they don't hold up to the day. So your taste does change, and for this, my taste changed a lot for this movie, and I have a lot of appreciation for it now than I've ever did. So it's definitely one that I watch every Christmas Eve, and one that I'll continue to watch. It would definitely on my list. Another one that's true to my heart, and it's always been since I've been a wee boy, and it's everybody's Home Alone. I don't need to go into any of the details about why Home Alone is a favourite Christmas movie. I believe it's a lot of people's favourite Christmas movies. and it's really a good film. It just has a lot of just a lot about it. I don't know. It was the first of its kind to do what it did, and blending that kind of slapstick humour into it. And it was early 90s, and it took Macaulay Culkin's career by storm. And a little backstory that I can give you about Home Alone, if you don't know anything about well, you don't know anything behind the scenes of Home Alone, that Macaulay Culkin says that Joe Pesci hated him through this movie. Joe Pesci came off, you know, he was on Raging Bull, working with Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro. He was in Goodfellas, and so he had like 10 years work in front of him before Macaulay Culkin came along. And because Macaulay Culkin was getting a lot of attention, Joe Pesci had a sort of hate towards him. But it's a little bit of a backstory in case you didn't know. And the scene where like he hangs Macaulay Culkin up in the hook and he goes to bite his finger, Macaulay Culkin says he still has that tooth mark to this day on his hand. It's like a wee Joe Pesci scar, he calls it. And so it's a little backstory there. And as for Daniel Stern, last year when I did my Home Alone NECA figures, that I opened them, I thought they were, I couldn't believe that NECA were doing these retro classic style Home Alone figures. I thought that was great. I've never seen Home Alone figures before, and I thought one of my all-time favourite Christmas movies, and would never thought I'd ever see it, you know, in figure form. And I spoke to Daniel Stern on the Facebook. He does Facebook Live, and gave him a wee shout out. Give him a shout out. It's on the video, so you can check that out, guys. And of course, without, you know what's going to be next? The sequel. Now, we've all seen Home Alone 1, 2. We watch it every year. They get played time and time again. It's a Christmas classic. But, you know, Home Alone 3 is okay in terms of, I like the idea behind Home Alone 3. I felt it could have worked on its own without it being called Home Alone 3. And why am I talking about Home Alone 3 when I'm holding Home Alone 2 up? Is because that it really irritates me that, okay, this should have been it for the Home Alone movies. That's it, 1 and 2, and let it go. But Home Alone 3 came out, and you know, I kind of enjoyed it, but I didn't love it, you know. And because it's a Home Alone movie, I wouldn't personally buy it. But if, you know, if it was on Netflix, I would certainly watch it on that, just to watch an extra Christmas movie at this time of year. I just feel that it could have been a better movie. It could have been something else. But anyway, Home Alone 2, let's go back to Home Alone 2, is a great sequel, and it's one of my ultimate, I don't know what's better, Home Alone 1 or 2, I don't know, I can't choose. Definitely another two, these two I watch every Christmas Eve. So every Christmas Eve I watch these two. Anyway, and my number one pick, and it has to be number one, and I'm sure everybody will say it's on their list if they did this video. It would even be probably my number one on my all-time favourite Christmas movies, and it's National Lampoons Christmas Vacation, and it is there, guys, because I'm holding up the National Lampoons or the Vacation collection. I don't actually have a single, so there it is there. Let's end that disc there. But it's one of my, I enjoy the other Vacation movies while I'm at it. I might as well say that the first Vacation and the second Vacation, they're two of the strongest movies. European I enjoy, and Vegas I enjoy. Now I watch these films in reverse, and I'm sure I'll talk a bit more about that at some point. But I've seen Vegas Vacation first, Christmas Vacation second, European Vacation third, and Vacation last. Why did I see it like that? It's a long story. I just came across them on Channel 5, and it was just about probably the time at the time of the year I came across them, and I knew nothing about them. But these movies have a special place in my heart, especially Christmas Vacation. in my mind, Christmas Vacation 2 does not exist. Cousin Eddie's Adventure, and which at some point I was thinking about doing a video about, and I did check out Vacation 2015. No, will I be picking that up in a million years. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick video. Well, probably I say quick, I've been going on for a bit, yammering on like a budgie. But that's my top 10 Christmas Blu-rays, and it's not my top 10 Christmas movie list, but it's my top 10 Christmas Blu-rays that I do own, and I thought I would share with you guys. Anyway guys, have a great Christmas and take care, and I hope you have a wonderful New Year. And till next time guys, see you later. Bye bye.